This one from Alan Martinez. Can you give us the full story of the Slayers Club? Did you know from the beginning who was going to be on this song? Was there going to be more MCs? Who was the first and last port person to record the verse? Finally, did everyone know who else was going to be on the track?
Well, yeah, I messaged everybody who I wanted on it at the same time. I didn't know how real uh, it was going to be, you know. Ice-T, I didn't know I wanted on it yet, you know. Like I didn't even know Ice-T like that. I didn't know I could get him, you know. So, but I knew Fame and Billy Dance for years. We rocked shows together. Fame did some beats for me in the past, and Lil Fame is family, and Billy Dance is family. So I knew MOP. Onyx and me rock shows. I did a song for their rock album. Vinny Paz, I've done what 6, 7, 8 songs together. Chris Rivers, we never worked together, but he'd always be supportive. I had my podcast. He'd come on it. I do a live show in Brooklyn. I mean, at SOBs in Manhattan. He'd come and rock on the mic. Like, so all these people were like, yeah, brand Nubian. I did 6, 7, 8 songs with Sadat in Life, Lord Jamar. Made beats for Afro's album that we're working on. I know Lord Jamar for over 20 years, So like everybody on the song I knew very well, But then when we were in the middle of making it, I said, Chino I know for decades, And Chino knew me before I knew him. He told the story recently that he went to one of my crazy concerts and he was scarred as a little kid. He was like 16. He was like, yo, that dude. He said it was like one of the most legendary concerts he ever been to, And Sadat said it was like a top 5 concert ever, It was an iconic one, uh, but yeah, but Ice, I was in the middle of making. I'm like, yo, I need one more, and I was like, should I get Coogee Rap on this one? And I was like, nah, I want Coogee Rap, but nah, who the fuck should I get on this one? And I was like, yo, Ice-T would be sick. So I just randomly contacted Ice, like, yo, what's up, Ice? And he was like, yo, what's up, Rugged Man? And we just started talking. So he's like, hell yeah, send the track over, So yeah.
I can't think of his most recent feature.
Yeah, well, when I was talking to Billy Danz about it, I said, look, I'm Ice-T said yes, we're getting Ice on it. Billy said that he did a song with Ice that never came out. I don't know whose project it's for, but he said Ice killed it so hard that Billy was like, yo, maybe I should. I don't know if he said he should rewrite it or whatever. He just said that. I don't remember what he said, but he just said that, like, yo, Ice killed. Like, I was like, damn, like he was super impressed with what Ice gave him for that one. Or I don't even know whose track it was, but it was like Billy from MOP and Ice on something, but it ain't out. I don't know where that record is. If I could find it, I'll put it out. And add some people on it. Let's go. Let's do.
Yo, right, for real.
You
This one's from Eric Deep. But his question is, are you anti Lil Uzi Vert, meaning some would argue he and other MCs like him are lyrical in their own way, but are these guys dead to you too?
Yeah, I don't believe in the lyrical in their own way bullshit. That's not hip hop. They're lyrical in their own way. They make vibes. That's not hip hop. Vibes. No. That doesn't fly. Hip hop to me is a fucking stage. If you went to the show, if you showed up at the park and got on the stage and you were good in your own kind of way, nah, you was getting tossed the fuck off the stage. That's what the fuck they did. It wasn't like we vibe together. No, no, no. That's the new you're safe, putting videos on the internet shit, and performing for fans that aren't hip hop heads type of shit. And I'm not saying Little Uzi Vert, I don't even know his music. I've never even heard a song of his in my life. I'm just talking about the way that they explained that artist. What did they say about him? Like he's special in his own way or whatever? Is it what is it? It's like what is it like a special ed class or something? Like the special class, they put them on the slow bus. Oh yeah, we make the almost rap. I don't know what the fuck they're even talking about,
He says, that's cold blooded right there. He says, are you anti Lil Uzi Vert, meaning some would argue that he and other MCs like him are lyrical in their own way.
Oh yeah, okay.
Are these guys dead to you too?
I never heard of Uzi Vert rhyme. If I listened to it and he impressed me, I would give him his props. I'm not one of them guys that, oh, fuck that just because it's new. I like a lot of new MCs. There's incredible rappers in the world, but no, I'm not into the in their own special way shit. No. Yeah, that is dead to me. Like they can't rock, but they're in their own way. That's like the everybody get a trophy generation. Like everybody's good. You don't have to win the boxing match. You're all champions. You know how to fight. You're a boxing champion. Here's the heavyweight belt. Don't even fight.
But see, here's what I mean, though, right?
Wait. Imagine getting in the ring with, say, Anthony Joshua or Dante Wilder or Tyson Fury and being like, well, he boxes in his own special way. You're going to get your fucking head knocked off and decapitated,
One of the things I think, that's where I was coming from earlier with the, have you ever thought about what, or if it's possible for hip hop to die, right? For example, so like whenever I see, like this is a thing that happens all the time. You have artists who are from a certain generation telling somebody that their stuff's not hip hop, it's not real, that's not what it is. Then you have people from a younger generation saying, well, that's old, you guys are old and busted, or whatever. But hold on real quick, let me finish. So the only difference is one of them is younger than the other one. And if they feel ostracized from this community based off of what they look at as innovations in their genre, or they just really like rap, don't really care about the covenants or tenets of hip hop at all, and they just take that little rap piece and they just keep walking with the rap stuff and leaving the hip hop behind. How does the same covenants, tenets, elements of hip hop transcend to future generations if those generations feel like everything that they're doing ain't hip hop?
Well, because it's what it used to be. Hip hop, even back then. See, the people when you say something's whack today, they go, "Oh, you're a boomer, or you're this or that," or they say, whatever. You're not allowed to have an opinion if you're from a certain era of hip hop because that means you're hating, So, but I had the same exact opinion when I was 13, 15, 18, 20, 25. Like, this isn't an opinion I didn't have back. Like, when motherfuckers was playing whack ass rappers, you'd be 15 years old. Like, that motherfucker's terrible. Like he would get destroyed and they wouldn't take him serious. And then there was pop rap, So all this like pop rap shit would come out and like, it would sell 11 million records. And nobody in that respected hip hop thought Vanilla Ice could hang with KRS-One. Nobody. They were smarter than that. But Vanilla Ice sold all the records, right? Today, it's if you sell all the records, because now the corporations are part of the brainwash too. They brainwash the children, So the children want that money. They want that, oh, look, this is how you get money, get money, get money. So they're learning to like dumbed down shit rather than going like, oh, that's the shit for them. We got our hip hop shit. But to answer your other question about if all these people are being marketed this thin ass, hip hop, how will the real hip hop maintain? Obviously, it's not. See, here's the thing.
That's not my question.
Okay.
My question is that there's a population of young people who equate rap and hip hop as being synonymous, right? When most of them probably have a closer connection to rap music as the Grammys describes it or as Spotify describes it. Then
yes.
Right. So, but there's now a separation in generation and a knowledge gap, right? There's people, my age who understand that and understand the gap that these kids are coming from. But these kids are also getting a lot of people who are hip hop legends that are telling them that ain't hip hop. Like when Ice-T was telling Soulja Boy ain't hip hop. Pete Rock telling whoever's. Pete Rock always telling somebody they're not hip hop. Or Jamar does a lot of this stuff. My cousin does. My uncles do this all the time. Now, for these kids, they don't have the same connection to hip hop as they do to rap. And so now the only people who could really teach them about hip hop or the connection to how the stuff that they like got here are the people telling them that they aren't hip hop. And so they don't have it in their DNA. The hip hop is telling them, nah, you ain't us. They're having more success than what hip hop looks like it does anyway. So they just take their rap and they move on and they call it something else.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you on that. That's what they do. Oh yeah, fuck it. But on the flip side of that coin is um, myself coming up in the game. You know, I had legends respecting me from the very beginning. Like, wow, Eric Sermon, Biz Markie. I'd be 15, 16-year-old kid in Long Island, 14, rapping for all the greats in my neighborhood. But then, when I went to the labels and got my deal and everything, some of my idols didn't fuck with me, and they said, you know, fucking and I told KRS One started liking me with the song "Every Record Label Sucks Dick," but when I first signed to Jive, he kind of looked at it like, who's gimmicky white guy, what's horror, what is it, So I wasn't like, fuck KRS One, he sucks, he ain't shit anyway. I was like, oh shit, the teacher isn't fucking with me. That's fucked up. It never for one second meant he doesn't like it. So I said, I got to work harder and be better, and you earn your stripes. Like it's a different era. Like I couldn't imagine if a producer back in the day got to sit in a session with Quincy Jones, and Quincy Jones was like, yo, you're not playing that trumpet right. You're not doing this right. Fix your shit. Get this. You're not good yet. Fix it. You would go, oh hell yeah, Quincy, and you'd learn your craft. But it's a new era where they go, fuck you, Quincy Jones. You're not shit anyway. Quincy sucks. I hate Quincy Jones. It's like, yo, like, no, these are experienced veterans explaining to you what they don't, you know, see
Respect.
in culture and why, it's a weird thing. Like some of the kids don't understand that you have to earn respect. For some reason, I understood that as a kid. I understood like, okay, you got to work hard, you got to, figure it out. You got to get good. You earn the respect. It's a new thing where it's like, if you don't respect us, just before we even learned how to do what we're doing, fuck everybody. Okay, cool. So, uh, and if everybody follows suit with that mentality, like, yeah, fuck all the old washed up rappers, fuck them. You guys are doing better than everyone anyway. It's all good. Of course, the quality is going to get less and less and less and less and less in that mainstream rap world. But then you'll still have these dudes that you could put on a mic, and maybe they're not getting the exposure or the recognition or the money of the greats. But you got to understand, hip hop started as a street culture. It wasn't meant to make you a fucking millionaire in the very beginning. That wasn't. Nobody believed that. That why you think Kaz gave his notebook to Sugar Hill Gang? Like, yeah, sure. He didn't think, oh, this would be, a gold record and then the biggest record ever. Like nobody thought anybody was making records and making millions of dollars. So the culture lives whether it's big hit records or if it's just the culture. So the shit ain't dying and it's gonna exist forever because it's 50 million times better than the kid that doesn't want to take time to even learn it. It's like I don't know. It's so weird. It's just the weirdest thing now because like you could, any profession, any art, any profession, anything. Uh, whether you're a fucking mechanic, you have to learn what the fuck you're doing. If you're a mechanic and every time somebody bring the car in and you do everything fucked up and the bars are fucking bent and the rust is peeled and they fuck up your car, you're gonna be like that. Hey, he get the most business. He's the best mechanic. No, you're gonna be like that mechanic sucks and fucked up every car that ever went there. You know?
Two more questions. One of them is from Eamon. He says, if he was going to be stuck on an island and had to choose between one catalog, the Beatles or Guy, who would you choose and why the Beatles?
Yeah, he knows that I'm not a big Beatles fan. I know the Beatles are a great group. I know they're great songwriters. I know they're game changers. I understand all that stuff, but it's not my kind of music. Like if I put it on, like let's play some music while we eat. and the fucking Beatles comes on, their voices don't do it for me. It's just not my kind of music. I would never say, oh, those talentless guys. No, of course, Beatles have fucking talent coming out of every pore of their body. They're the fucking Beatles. It's just not for me, you know. Like I like soul and funk and blues and stuff that I feel in my soul, like, you know, a little Teddy Pendergrass, you know, put that on when we're eating, you know, put you know, the Manhattans on, you know, like I like to listen to music that really, you know, really moves me. And the Beatles is a little too, and they made some terrible songs too, you know, like songs where, you know what it is. Here's the thing. In my life and most people's lives, I guess out of every group in history, the Beatles is the group that I've heard the most music from. You know, as a kid, you're in a fucking elevator, you're in a car, you're in a fucking store. You know, you heard these songs for fucking 30 years, every year, you know, blah, 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 blah. So I said to myself once, I said, if you could have lived your life without ever having heard a Beatles song or having heard the Beatles as much as you have, which would you prefer? I said, never having heard a Beatles song. You know, I would rather live life without the Beatles than having heard all these Beatles songs for years and years and years, you know. So I'm just, yeah, I'm not a big Beatles fan. And Guy is my favorite group of all time, and Teddy Riley is one of my idols, and I believe, you know, he's one of the goats. So yeah, if you say who you prefer, Guy or the Beatles, that's Eamon, because
Yeah.
Eamon is a big Beatles fan. And when Eamon was a kid, he hated the Beatles. You know, when he was a doo-wop singer, he thought he was too cool for the Beatles. You know,
Oh, wow.
uh, when he got older, he started studying the Beatles, and he fell in love with the Beatles and thinks they one of the greats. You know, which the world does. But so oh, you're wrong. You know, you'll experience it one day too. All right, you're wrong. The Beatles, and I'm old enough to figure out that I'm not gonna one day put on the Beatles and oh, they got me.
Mhm. All right, this one is my final question. And out of everything you've experienced, all the lives you touched and changed, there's so many comments in here about how your music has saved people's life, references that you've made on the album too, talking about different fans that come up to you and share the impact you've had on them. All the countries you've lived in, all the places you've traveled, everything that you've ever experienced through this medium. What still surprises you about hip hop?
Well, that same thing still surprises me every time. Like every time when what surprises me is like when somebody will take like the most horrible moment of their life or the biggest moment of their life or like and contact you personally, try to whatever they can to reach out to you to let you know about their most important part of their life. You know, like their mother is dying and they're messaging you like, my mom's gonna die. Can you help me get through this? You know, like they're reaching out to me. They never met me. They don't know me. But hip hop spoke to them from whatever part of the world. Their mother, the person that raised the most important person in their life. And who are they reaching out to? A rapper? Me? So and that's just one out of, you know, hundreds of stories where people just they inbox you over, you know, loss of, you know, children, loss of loved ones, loss of girlfriends, you know, survival, people who suicide survivors, you know, people who wanted people who were suicide, or people when they're suicidal contact you like, yo, I don't want to live anymore. Like, I don't want to live anymore. Rugged man, talk to me, talk to me. And you'd be like, you know what, man? You got to say something because what if the shit is real, you know? So, yeah. And like I say in other interviews, I'm not acting like it's me. I'm magical and it's because of me. Oh, you know, but it is because of me with those particular people. But what I'm saying is, artists all over the world, hip hop artists all over the world are getting that feedback, you know? Like people are hitting up who's a rapper that I think is terrible? Macklemore. You know, I mean, people are probably messaging Macklemore that stuff. You know, it's not. You know, I'm just trying to go from, you know, or rappers I love. You know, okay, Atmosphere, the real Macklemore, Atmosphere, the original rhyme sayer, the motherfuckers really. But Atmosphere. when we did
That's
the
crazy. I never actually thought about them in the same way, but that's 100%.
style.
Yeah.
Macklemore, Vince,
Wow.
yeah, Brother Ali, he blew up on their records. And then
Yeah.
when Macklemore blew up, he acted like they didn't exist and he didn't know who they was. It's like, yo, your whole shit is fake ass rhyme sayers. Yo, no, but what I was saying is when I was FaceTiming with Slug, not FaceTiming, IG Live and with Slug, the fans, man. You know how many people love Slug? So many, because he does personal stories too. They were like, "Yo, you saved my life. Yo, Slug, I love you. It's because of you I'm alive." Like, I get that too, but I saw the level of just him in the IG Live for a few minutes. They was hitting him with that. So that's the power hip hop has. It's all, the world reaches out to us, and we're touching people all over the planet. It's insane, man.
Wow. Man. All right. I appreciate you. This is all I have. Is there anything else you want to say? You want people to know?
Just tell all your writer friends to stop being scared of the best album of the year because they're scared of it. They know I'm better than the bullshit they're promoting. They know that I'm not corporately funded and I'm not connected. So working with RA, isn't is only a favor to RA. It's not really helping their job to get the next writing gig. And so I know you fucking cowards, but yeah.
I don't think I think that there may be, if there is something to the blackball that you described earlier, still being blackballed, that would be based on the fact that they're not writing about you and you do numbers for them. Like
Yeah.
you have your audience is active as fuck and they show up and
My
they
only
click that link.
okay, go ahead. Sorry.
They click that link. I've seen this now with multiple publications over the past 7 years since I guess I got officially into the industry. And every time I rate anything, whether it's aggregated or original, that chart goes up. So if they're not covering it, then maybe there's something to the blackball because you do numbers.
There you go, my friend. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me on, and thank you for the attention. It's my career is because of motherfuckers like you who try to give me a platform. So I appreciate it. All right.
Well, I appreciate you too, and thanks for bearing with the technical difficulties.
It's cool. You know what it is? I'm just gonna get my ass kicked right now because baby mama has 3 babies downstairs, and I was supposed to put.
Yeah.
She worked on her school papers, and now
Mhm.
it's way late, and she's probably burned. I fucked up the whole night because of you.
Well, it's with a good cause. You're frozen.
Yeah.
All right, you come back in. You look a little frozen.